Hello, I'm Martin Matthews. I was the president of the Newcastle Business Club in 2008. I also had the fortune of serving on a committee for a couple of years before my presidency and also for a couple of years afterwards as well. I was introduced to the club in 2004 when I moved to Newcastle from Sydney. People who I worked with suggested it was going to be a really good way for me to get to know people in and around the area, and I had the benefit of not only making some good business networking opportunities, but also getting to know a few people from around town and become friends as well. I joined the committee in 2005 because as an accountant they were in desperate need of a treasurer. So I drew the short straw and became treasurer for a couple of years at the club. I saw becoming president to be a fantastic personal opportunity for me. I think you get exposed, and certainly my experience was, so you got exposed to things that you wouldn't otherwise get to experience in your life as an accountant. So whether it be dealing with the media or liaising with some high net worth individuals or interesting people that you wanted to introduce to the club, it certainly gave you an opportunity to do that. Probably my most memorable lunch was the first one that we did. The year before I became president, we surveyed the members and wanted to see whether they'd be open to a change from weekly meetings to monthly meetings. Thankfully, from the president's perspective, the members were in favour of trialling monthly meetings, which meant that instead of the weekly meetings, we had monthly meetings with 2 speakers. And at each of those particular monthly meetings, we had a local speaker and also a keynote speaker. And our keynote speaker for our first lunch was David Gallop, who was the then CEO of the NRL. Rugby League in Australia was celebrating its 100th birthday in 2008, so we thought it would be a good opportunity, given how rugby league mad Newcastle is, for David to join us that day. Thankfully the membership responded to the monthly meeting. I think Harbourview Function Centre was absolutely jam-packed. We had a 2-hour window, I think it was 12 to 2, with everyone due to be sitting down and having lunch at 12:30. I do remember very vividly sweating, given that David Gallop hadn't arrived by about 12:25. The place was packed, you couldn't get a seat for love of money, and our the new format, our guest speaker hadn't shown up. Thankfully David did arrive at about 12:28. I still distinctly remember he almost ran into the place. He was so embarrassed, but he got caught in traffic, of course, from Sydney to Newcastle. And he kindly extended a greeting to me, and I said, David, I don't think I've been more happy to see a bloke in my life. So that was the start of the new format, and certainly set us on a good path for the rest of 2008. I think the greatest contribution I made was probably introducing the concept of the monthly meeting, and thankfully that resonated with the membership. I think over the course of 2008 we not only supplied the membership with some great local speakers, but also some keynote speakers from around New South Wales and Australia. I look back and we've had Peter Cosgrove, Malcolm Turnbull, who now both occupy probably the 2 highest offices of the land. We had the Indian High Commissioner to Australia, Peter Fitzsimons, Kerry O'Keefe, David Gallop, who I mentioned before. We had certainly great quality speakers, and I think that emphasis of quality over quantity was something that I was most proud of. I think we had average attendances of in excess of 170 for every event in that year, which compared to perhaps where we were in the previous few years, we wanted to make sure that this great club, great institution for Newcastle, continued into the future, and I think the new format certainly allowed it to prosper, and it's fantastic to see it continually thriving into its 85th year.
Visit www.newcastlebusinessclub.com.au to learn more.